guys, today's video is all about sponges. Sponges. Okay, I literally have all the sponges that I own right out in front of me. Some I've had for a while, so I've been using them for a while. Some I've had for just recently, but I've used them enough to sort of get my feelings on them. You know what I mean? So, got more seltzer. It's actually the same seltzer from a different video that's going up later because I just filmed it. Anyway, so heads up, some of them are used, but because I literally just used them and I gotta knock these out. So I'm going to basically just honestly go through them and tell you what I like about them, what I don't like about them, and compare them to one another. In this video somewhere, I will take pictures of them like lined up side by side, wet, and then also them like completely wet but like wrung out, and then also completely dry with like something next to them to show size, like a quarter or something, so you can see how much they sort of expand. So that is what we're gonna do. Alright, that's actually going to happen right now. So here is the first picture. These are the sponges, completely dry, and there's a little quarter just for size reference. But again, these sponges are completely dry. And then this one is them completely saturated with water and then wrung out. And then again, there's the quarter for size reference. Where are we going to start? I don't know. Let's just start with like the obvious. The Beauty Blender. Haha, I have this. And it is a little bit dirty because I just used it, but it was clean before that. And okay, so I've had this for like almost a year, honestly. This exact sponge, almost a year, had pretty much like not a lot of interest in it. I was like, okay, it's a sponge, but it's a $20 sponge. Do I need a $20 sponge? Then I ended up getting it last September, I think. And yeah, it's a great sponge. I'm not gonna deny that. It is a great sponge. I think it applies my makeup wonderfully. I really only apply my like foundation and stuff with a sponge of some sort. I just like the way it applies better on my skin. It looks way more natural. It sinks into my skin like because you're pushing it in there, and I like it more than a brush. So honestly, all the time I'm applying my makeup with a sponge. So Beauty Blender, it's a great sponge, but it's a $20 sponge. Do you have $20 extra to be spending on a sponge? Some people do, yeah. And some people don't. A lot of people don't have $20 to be like going out and spending on a sponge. So I think that is its downfall. It is lasting me a really long time. It is starting to get some like rips in it. If you can probably see these too. There's the big ones. Just from wear and tear and washing, and I'm sure like wringing out. That's how that happens. But again, I've had this since last September. When this video is going up, it's the end of June. So yeah, I mean, it's a great sponge. You've heard a lot about the Beauty Blender. I like the rounded butt part of it, and I like this part for getting right under your eye to blend out concealer. I've also been using it to apply this liquid bronzer, the Cover FX Sun-Kissed bronzer, which I just got, and I'm like obsessed with it. I've been using it for that, and I do like this because the butt part isn't as big as some other sponges. It's like just like the perfect size. So if you were interested in trying the Beauty Blender, try the Beauty Blender. If you have the money to spend on it, it's a good sponge. I would recommend trying it. If you don't feel like you have to go out and get it, there are cheaper alternatives. I'm gonna talk about them in this video. So, Beauty Blender. Also, just like, I'll say this again at the end, but if you have any specific questions about any of the sponges, I'll be more than happy to answer them. If maybe I hit on a point, if I don't hit on a point that you wanted to know something about, I'm more than happy to answer anything you might be interested about. Yes. All right. The next three I have are this little set, and two are dirty because, again, I use them. I use a lot of sponges today. I use like 4 sponges. This is a little set from Equate. Equate is the store brand Walmart, like the Walmart store brand. So it comes in a little set like this. So you have this main sponge, which is shaped like this. What else is shaped like this? The Flower Beauty sponge. That sounded weird. The Flower Beauty sponge is shaped like this. Is the L'Oreal sponge also shaped like this? Okay, so it has sort of that shape to it. And that's like the main one. And then you have this one that has like a pretty steep like angle to it. The pointy side, and then it looks like this. And then you have another purple one that sort of looks like-ish, like a Beauty Blender, except the bottom is way more flat, as you can see. So this set is $5. So Beauty Blender, $20. This set of 3, $5. Okay, definitely there's a price difference, and this one is way more affordable. But does that always mean that it's good? Not necessarily. So this sponge today I used to apply my foundation, and here's what I think. It does a good job of applying foundation. It is stiffer than the Beauty Blender, a good amount stiffer than the Beauty Blender, but it doesn't feel like I'm punching myself in the face with a rock, but you can definitely feel that it is more firm. But I feel like it does a good job of applying my foundation. My foundation looks smooth. It doesn't look patchy anywhere, which is nice. However, I do feel like this soaks up a lot of product. So whereas maybe I'll use 2 pumps of a foundation usually to cover my whole face, maybe I'll have to use 3 when I use this, just because it soaks up so much more product. I also noticed that when I wet it and then like I wring it out and I go to like squeeze it out, it has a lot of like kickback. There's something like, whereas the Beauty Blender is like soft and squishy, this is like almost springy. And I think that's how, like, they're all sort of like that, but this one the most. Like you can see it's almost like I'm like looking at myself in the viewfinder. It's like bouncy, like it just like snaps. I don't know if you could tell what's happening here. But it just sort of like snaps back. So there's something like springy about whatever material is in here. But it is a lot softer, like I said, a lot softer than I thought it was going to be. It doesn't feel like you're punching yourself in the face with a rock like some do. And I do think it applies your foundation well, but it is soaking up a lot of product, so you're going to end up using more product if you're using this sponge. I also personally think that this side is not tapered enough. Yeah, you could get under to blend like concealer. I can't like get under there because my glasses are on. You could totally blend concealer out with this, but for me it's a little too like wide. Just like a personal opinion. Also, it sort of came with this, let me see if I can zoom in. There we go. You see like this little hole that's sort of there? That just was there when I got it. So I don't know why that's there. The material to me, I have washed this and it seems to hold up pretty well, but it seems like a material that won't be extremely long lasting. But okay, so that's that sponge. And then this is the next one. This one I like for blending out concealer the first time. So I immediately apply it, go in, blend it out, good. If I go back again and have to like remove creases or something, I feel like it's taking away some of the product, again, because I feel like it soaks up some product, some more product than some of my other sponges. And I feel like when I go back over, like, did you hear that giant breath? Oh, I gotta slow down, I'm talking too fast. When I go back over this to sort of blend out any like creases that may have happened under my eye, I feel like it's lifting some of the product, so that's not great. And this one is soft. This one is softer than this one. It's much less springy, but I feel like it almost holds the shape that you like squeeze it into. Not like forever, but like if I squeeze it like this, it almost like holds my like finger indents in it. Like that's, again, I don't know if that's like the, obviously it's the material it's made out of, but it's like that springy factor. It's sort of like molding to my hand and not immediately like responding back. So I feel like you can almost see that this side is flatter than this side because that's like where I was squeezing it. So that is just making me think that this won't be extremely long lasting. If you keep washing it, squeezing it, washing it, squeezing it, it's not going to keep its shape very well. Also, it almost feels a little bit like smooth to the touch and like a little bit slippery. I don't even know how to describe that, which is weird for a sponge. Again, it just feels a little bit cheap. Definitely does the job. I'm not saying it doesn't do the job. Applying concealer is great. Going back over to blend it out, not so much. And again, I don't think it'll be necessarily long lasting, and it does soak up a lot of product. This one, it's actually pretty nice. It's soft as well, but it's more firm than this one, which seems flimsy, and it's softer than this one, which just seems like a little bit too springy. So this one is probably my favorite. And you could probably use this to apply foundation too. I think I'm going to try that. I didn't try that yet, but I will. And if anything is weird, I'll update down in the description box. but I actually used this to apply cream blush, and it was really nice. It did a great job of blending it out. It didn't lift the product, like the product up. It didn't soak in a lot of the product. It soaked up more than it probably should have, but not nearly as much as like I feel like these do. I got a really nice even application with the cream blush that I was using. It didn't lift up the foundation underneath and like make it look patchy or anything. So this was really good for cream blush, and it's probably be good for other cream products too, and foundation. So this is probably my favorite out of these three, but again, this set is $5, and I wouldn't necessarily just buy it for this sponge because you can get other better sponges that will do the same job. So yes. Next are the Eco Tools sponges. You've seen people talk about these. I have them, and here they are. So let's start with this one. I really like this. It is so soft. It feels like the Real Technique sponge. So I have that right here. It feels like that. Nothing feels quite like the Beauty Blender. I would compare it to more towards the Real Techniques one. But I love this. I love that it has the domed end. I love it for applying foundation. You have this more angled side on like one, and then you have like a more shallow angle on the other side. You can see it right there. You can get right under your eye to blend out concealer if you want to like use one sponge for everything. Great. Yeah, I mean, I love this. I don't have a problem with this one. This one is great. It's really soft. Doesn't feel like you're punching yourself in the face every time you put on foundation. It gives you a nice, smooth, even application, not patchy or anything. Nothing weird is happening with this sponge, and I really like it. So these two come in a set. These are $9, I believe, for both of these sponges, and you can find them at the drugstore, probably. I got mine at Target, so that's where I got mine. But yeah, I really like this sponge. Soft, very even application, and I think it is another good drugstore option. This one, however, not my favorite. These are definitely different materials because this one is so much harder than this one. It's not nearly as soft, much more firm, and like this one from Equate, I used this to apply cream blush because I was like, oh, like maybe like cream blush or bronzer or something, and this one does sort of feel rock, like even though like this is it wet right now, and it's very like, it's very firm, and it almost feels like I'm, again, like punching myself in the face when I'm trying to apply anything. What I said cream blush. I said that I did that. It is just a smaller version of the big one. You can see like it's more, there's a steeper angle on one side and a more shallow angle on the other side. So in theory, you could use this one to do like concealer and stuff like that. But out of these two, I definitely like this one more. I don't necessarily see myself reaching for this. It's just a little too firm for me. They don't soak up more product than like the Real Techniques or the Beauty Blender or anything, so pretty much same amount of product that I would use using those other two sponges, these two sponges, I'll use with this one, so it's not soaking up an excess of product. This, I just think it's too stiff, and I don't really like it that much. You might like it, and that's cool, or maybe I got a weird one, but it's not really my cup of tea. The last three sponges I have are from Real Techniques. So obviously the orange Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge. I love this. I like this more than the Beauty Blender. And part of it does have to do with price. So I'm pretty sure like the double pack is like $10.99 or something like that. And a single one's like $6. And for me, that's, or for everyone, that's way more affordable, and also I don't mind like if I have to go buy another one, I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm spending $20 on a sponge. I'm like, no, I'm spending $6 or about the double pack, and I always have like extras just in case something crazy happens. But great sponge, so soft. Again, blends everything perfectly. It has this flat edge, which I feel like I just like cover more ground and I can get my foundation on faster because it has this flat side as opposed to like a round butt side. Also, because it's flat and you have like this little edge right here, it makes it easy to like get around your nose. I'm sure you've heard about this sponge, but these are just my thoughts on it real quick. If you have specific questions, I'll answer them, but I'm gonna try not to like beat a dead horse talking about this. But yeah, I like it. You can obviously use it to blend out concealer. You could use it for cream products as well. I feel like it's just very, it can have a lot of uses. So yeah, I love this one too. And again, it's much more affordable. If you have any specific questions about that, I will answer them. But again, I'm sure you've heard a lot about it, so I'm not gonna ramble on about it. All right, last two are also from Real Techniques. There is the Mini Miracle Eraser Sponge. I always mix up like the words in that title. And then also the Mini Miracle Complexion Sponge. So the Mini Miracle Erasure Sponge looks like this. It has a flat side like the Miracle Complexion Sponge and a little point, but then it also has like this little flat edge that runs along the top, which you could totally use to like set your under eye if you like setting your under eye with sponges, or like setting around your nose to like really get into that nose crease. That's a perfect size for that. And I love this for blending in my concealer. It's the same like material. It's still super, super soft, but it's dense enough to not suck up the product. Like this one, the one from Equate, is just sucking up too much product, and this one, it doesn't do that. It just spreads everything out nice and evenly. Obviously, it's going to suck up a little bit of product because it is a sponge, but it's not taking away the coverage for me, and it's just giving like a really smooth, flawless type of finish. And then if I have to go back in and remove any lines or any creases that have formed, it's not pulling up any of the product. So I really love it. And then this mini one is also, it's similar to this. It is a little bit different. This is the Mini Miracle Complexion Sponge, so it's literally a mini version of this. That's all it is. It has that flat, it has that like angled side. There's no flat edge on top like this purple one, and then it comes to a point. And yeah, I like this for concealer too. I think it's great. I prefer this one, I think the purple one a little bit more, because I think it comes to more of a taper, but just like a hair, and I don't even know why. I don't even know why I recognize that, but I use them both, honestly, interchangeably. And this one is a little bit shorter. I'm going to keep picking these up. This one's a little bit shorter. You can see right there. There it is. Can you see this? It's like a little bit shorter than this purple one, but still great. It comes in a pack of 4 or 5. It comes in a pack of 4 or 5 for like $8, so like, hello. If you're looking at like the Beauty Blender Micro Mini or whatever, just get this. Get these instead. They're way more affordable, and if you really want to try a mini sponge, I would recommend these. I think they're great. Definitely worth your money. Again, not soaking up a lot of your product, but still really soft, especially if you're using it for your under eye. You don't want something hard and jabby near your eyeball. And I really think that these are great. Great application. They don't soak up a lot of your product. You're not using more product than necessary because, you know, your sponge is eating all of it. But those are all the sponges I have to share with you. I feel like I didn't breathe for the last 17 minutes. Woo! Those are all the sponges I have to share with you. I tried to make it quick and show you, and like really just give you the facts and my thoughts on them. And that's what I did. Again, if you have any other specific questions that you would like me to answer, I'll be more than happy to do so in the comments about any of these sponges. Any specific questions that I may not have answered. I'm sure I missed something because I always miss something. And that's basically it. So I hope you liked this video. If you are new or just haven't subscribed yet, I will leave the subscribe button right over there for you. Please subscribe. It'll really help me out. I'll also leave my latest video up there for you if you are interested. But I hope you liked this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at my next one. Bye, guys.